Hi, in this clip I'm going to play through the first piece in the new 2012-2018 Rockschool Bass syllabus, Cranial Contraption. What I do is I play through the piece first of all with the backing track. I'll then give you a few pointers and things you need to look out for when you're actually performing the piece. Then I'll play it a second time with the backing track slowed down about 20%, so you've got a slightly slower version that you can listen to. Finally I'll play it a third time with the backing track still slowed down but with my own volume turned down, so you've basically got a slightly easier backing track that you can practice with, but also a visual reference of where you should be in the song. So this is Cranial Contraption.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, right. Firstly, the first section is a bass solo. What you need to do is kind of think of something nice and melodic, not too heavy. You've got a piano marking there, so you don't want anything too loud, but it's got to lead in nice and fluidly to the section where the guitar comes in with a sort of chunky chords. So utilise your scales, but try not to stick to one position. So you're obviously in E minor, so you want your E minor scale. But try not to stick to just that one scale, or try and use it in different positions, maybe utilising a few slides and that sort of thing. Now, the more astute amongst you might have noticed that I actually pinched a bit of phrasing for my first solo from Kirk Hammett's Master of Puppets solo from Metallica. Just to show that you can, there's nothing wrong with pinching a bit of phrasing from elsewhere and kind of twisting the timing to make it fit to whatever particular chord progression you're using. So don't be afraid to use that. So if you think of a track that's got a good kind of tuneful solo or a melodic phrase that you think you can pinch, don't be afraid to do so, as long as you don't pinch it exactly, as long as you're improvising a bit around it and using that as a framework. Right, coming into the second section, section B, all you've got to do is make sure it's nice and solid. It's nice and simple to play, a few open strings there, so make sure you get your counts right. So you're starting off full bar, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Make sure you've got those counts right. Now, section C, this is where it starts getting a bit more interesting. it's a quaver phrase, but you've got a tied quaver on the fourth note, so you've got to watch out for that. Make sure you get the timing nice and tight, and you've got to hit it nice and hard as well. You've got a forte marking there, so make sure you lay into it a little bit. Now, if I play that first 2-bar phrase of section C there, you've got a couple of slides in there as well, which the last slide up to the 12th fret, the octave E, can be quite tricky because you're effectively doing 2 slides in one movement without using your hand again. So make sure you practice that and get it nice and tight. Make sure you can hit that 12th fret. So it should go. Then your slides. Okay, make sure you don't miss that. Let me do it again at speed. Okay, so practice getting straight up to that 12th fret. Literally just sliding in. So make sure you can always stop dead on that 12th fret. Right, okay, into the next section where you basically go double time. Now the phrasing of the actual sort of riff is exactly the same. But rather than being quavers, you're now picking double time with your right hand, so you're getting 16th note pattern and a double forte marking, so really, really loud, so make sure you're really laying into it. Now, it may take a bit of practice to get up to speed on this one because it is pretty quick, so what you need to do is just practice getting your walking fingers and getting it nice and consistent so you can keep those 16th notes going basically for about 4 minutes on this song. There's a lot of it, so again, practice, just start off, once you've got the phrase in your head, then start doubling it up. And then practice speeding it up once you've got that in your head. Right, section D, which I believe is the guitar solo, I can't remember now. Again, all about stamina, making sure you've got it nice and tight, don't let any open strings ring on, and making sure you can just keep those 16th notes pounding away. Right, page 3. Section E comes in about halfway down page 3. There's quite an unusual little phrase there that you need, that's played in time with the drums, so you need to make sure you get that one nice and tight. Should sound like this. Okay, so practice getting that right, because it's, again, a slightly odd thing to play. Okay, next 2 bars. Again, very difficult thing to try and read, so make sure you listen to the backing track and you can get it accurately in time. And the second time. Third time. Last time. Then you've got the alternative ending. So make sure you don't miss that alternative ending. Right, you're in then to your second improvised solo. Now on this one you've got a mezzo forte marking rather than a piano marking. So again, make sure it's got a bit more oomph to it, if you like. So again, make sure you're utilising plenty of different techniques, maybe a few slides, hammer-ons, if you're feeling brave, the odd bend. But try and make sure it fits against the chords nicely. So at this grade 6, you should know all your arpeggios now, so don't be afraid to throw in a few arpeggios to match the chords nicely and link it together with a few little phrases. Right, okay, section G, again, is pretty similar to the previous section C, where you've got lots of 16th notes. Now, one thing you do need to look out for, because a few of my students have missed this, on the very last bar before you go into section H, rather than just being a B over D sharp, so you're playing the D sharp at the 6th fret there, for a full bar it is on the first time. This time, the last 2 semiquavers are down to a B note, okay, so you make sure you don't miss that, so it should go. Okay, so don't miss those last 2 notes out at the end. Right, we're then back to that good old riff again. So play that through twice. Lastly, our very last section, the last 2 lines here, you've got a couple of 16th note accents popping into that riff, so the phrasing has changed very slightly. So we should end up with. And the slide. And there we go. go. So basically this entire piece is about nice fluid improvisations and right hand stamina, keeping those 16th notes going. But have a play along with the slightly slowed down version so you can get used to building up the strength in your fingers to play at that speed, and have fun with it. Okay, here we go. So this is it slowed down 20%.
Cranial Contraption. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Third time with my own volume turned right down. I just need to point out as well, actually, on where is it? On the first two bars of page 3, measure 31 and 32. I'm actually playing an open A string, but it's only because I haven't actually committed this to memory, and I know it's an A minor before I have to turn the page, and it's only so I can make the page turn. But make sure you play that A at the 5th fret, as it's actually tapped out. Okay, so this is same track again, this time with my volume turned down, but still slowed down 20%.
Cranial Contraption. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
A minor, sorry, E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a C chord. A minor. G over B. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. Your solo. C minor. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. G over D. A minor. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B. 2, 3, 4. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. E minor. There we go. Hope that's of some help.